Throughout history, the concept of the Antichrist has fascinated and frightened believers and skeptics alike. The Antichrist is not just a figure of folklore, but a real and present danger, manifesting in specific, identifiable ways. Join us as we explore the 7 ways the Antichrist reveals himself. First, the Antichrist is identified through his blasphemy against God. In Daniel chapter 7, verse 25, it says, "He will speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people and try to change the set times and the laws." Revelation chapter 13, verses 5 to 6 also state, "The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise its authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place, and those who live in heaven." We see a power speaking great things and blasphemies. This isn't mere disrespect. It's an audacious claim to divine authority, a direct challenge to God's sovereignty. The Antichrist blasphemy isn't just about words, it's about undermining the very foundation of faith and leading people away from the true worship of God. Second, the Antichrist persecutes the faithful. Daniel chapter 7, verse 21 says, "As I watched, this horn was waging war against the holy people and defeating them." And Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 further states, "He will speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people and try to change the set times and the laws. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times, and half a time." Revelation chapter 13, verse 7 describes, "It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them." This persecution isn't just physical, but spiritual, seeking to break the resolve of God's followers. The Antichrist's goal is to eradicate true faith, forcing believers to choose between their faith and their lives. Such persecution will test the endurance and faith of God's people like never before. Third, the Antichrist attempts to change God's law, particularly the 10 Commandments. Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 says, "He will speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people and try to change the set times and the laws." This isn't about minor adjustments, but a radical redefinition of divine principles. The Antichrist's alterations are a direct assault on divine order, leading to widespread moral confusion where right and wrong are blurred. Such changes challenge the very essence of God's commandments, steering people away from his intended path. Fourth, the Antichrist holds power for a prophetic period, often interpreted as 1,260 days or years. Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 mentions, "The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times, and half a time." Revelation chapter 12, verse 6 states, "The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. Revelation chapter 12, verse 14 says, "The woman was given the 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she might fly to the place prepared for her in the wilderness, where she would be taken care of for a time, times, and half a time, out of the serpent's reach." Revelation chapter 13, verse 5 reiterates, "The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise its authority for 42 months. This period signifies a time of unchecked authority and influence. During this time, the Antichrist will dominate global religious and political landscapes, suppressing dissent and enforcing his will with absolute power. Fifth, the Antichrist represents a union of church and state, using secular power to enforce religious decrees. Revelation chapter 13, verses 12 to 17 explains, "It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This dangerous alliance blurs the lines between spiritual and temporal authority. The Antichrist's use of secular power to enforce religious decrees will create an environment where freedom of conscience is trampled, leading to the persecution of those who refuse to conform to his mandates. Sixth, the Antichrist promotes counterfeit worship, leading people away from true devotion to God. Revelation chapter 13 verse 4 says, "People worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshipped the beast and asked, 'Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it?'" Revelation chapter 13 verse 8 adds, "All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written in the Lamb's book of life, the Lamb who was slain from the creation of the world." This deception is subtle, mixing truth with error to mislead the masses. The Antichrist's counterfeit worship seeks to replace genuine faith with superficial rituals and deceptive doctrines. Discerning true worship requires a deep, personal connection with God and a thorough understanding of His Word to avoid being misled. Finally, the Antichrist receives a deadly wound that heals. Revelation chapter 13 verse 3 states, "One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast." This resurgence is a testament to the enduring influence of this power. The healing of this deadly wound signifies the revival of the Antichrist's power and influence, posing a persistent challenge to true believers. Understanding this revival helps us remain vigilant and aware of the ongoing spiritual battle. In conclusion, when the Antichrist reveals himself, you will know. This is not a matter to be taken lightly, as the signs and events we have discussed are not just historical or prophetic, they are deeply spiritual and personal. The Bible provides us with the wisdom and guidance to navigate these challenging times. Continue to study the Bible and stay strong in your faith. Pause 2S. Remember, the strength of our community lies in our collective vigilance and understanding. Share this video with 3 people and don't forget to subscribe and like. Together we can remain steadfast in our faith and prepared for the trials that may come. Pause 2S. Thank you for watching, and may your journey in faith be guided by the light of truth.